Hello, my dear Aquarian. This is Venusian Vibes here, and I'm going to give you your October love and spirituality reading. Okay, so I've already shuffled the deck a little bit. I'm just going to shuffle a little bit more, get everything into place, and we will get into your reading. Okay. And if you don't want to watch the shuffling, feel free to fast forward. If I don't want to waste anyone's time, so whatever works. Okay. Oh, Knight of Cups comes out. That's pretty cute. Okay, almost done here. Okay. All right, so the first thing I'm picking up on here for you guys is that the Knight of Cups flew out while I was shuffling, but it did not come out in the spread. So for me, that's an indication that you guys are either wanting to expose yourself emotionally to someone, or you're wanting someone in your life to do that to you. You want to hear about their feelings for you. You want to hear their emotions. You also might want an apology, or you need to give an apology, but you seem to be not doing that. So it is this energy, like this very sweet energy that is present and it came out, but it's not actually manifesting. You're not manifesting it, or the person you want to manifest it isn't. But it's definitely a desire there for that. So I'm going to look into the past a little bit before we get into your October spread. So here we have the Knight of Wands in the reverse. Queen of Cups in the reverse. The Four of Cups. Ace of Wands. Knight of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is, especially like with this Ace of Wands, where there is this core, this deep-seated sensation of passion and ignition going on for you. It is Lord of the Root of the Power of Fire. So deep down, you are feeling this is the past, so there is something you've been feeling like this passion for, that is a sensation that you can't rectify in an intellectual way. So Aquarians being very intellectual, you are a little bit at odds with this Ace of Wands energy that you've been feeling, this strong passion that you can't really put to words or explain. Aquarians like to be able to explain things, so it's probably been feeling a little bit strange, and you're not really sure how to, I guess, incorporate that or access that energy within your life. So manifesting this energy has probably been a little bit difficult. It's just you feel at odds with it, or have felt at odds with it. That with the Knight of Swords in the reverse and the Four of Cups. So that's more indicating your actions haven't been demonstrative of this sense of power, of strong feelings of passion that seem to just be in you, within you, and you don't know. You're just kind of confused by it. So the actions have not been there to move this sensation into a manifestation, into actually into acting on it, I guess, to put it in the most simple way. And then we have the Queen of Cups in the reverse, Knight of Wands in the reverse. So these are some dueling energies. You're gonna be here. Let me feel into this for a minute. So I'm getting a sense that this is two different people. I'm going to explain both energies to you, and you're going to be one or the other. Doesn't matter which. The energies are the same, but for every individual, like, it'll manifest either within you or the person you're dealing with. So we have the Queen of Cups in the reverse. So you or someone in your life. This is someone who is this more of a significant person in your life? Now you are, or they are feeling like a very out of balance with their feelings, very emotional. The Queen of Cups is when it's in the upright position, it is a very powerful energy where this is a feminine energy generally, but it can be a man or a woman, doesn't matter. But it's in the upright, this is someone who is very at peace with their emotions, and they feel very strongly, and there's no shame in their games, so they feel whatever they feel, and they're very giving, and they are very emotive, expressive of their feelings, and they're very soft energy, but there's a power in their softness. I'm almost so I was watching this video the other day or maybe it was just an article. Yeah, it was just an article with a picture of this sheep that it had separated from its flock and been just strolling around the mountains for years, and it had developed so much wool that it was like a wool so thick like over a foot thick around the entire sheep. And when they found the sheep, they saw all of these markings and indications of wolves having tried to latch on, trying to attack this poor sheep, but the wool was so thick they couldn't penetrate it. So the sheep was protected by such a thick layer of wool. And so the message for me is coming through a little bit with this energy here, the Queen of Cups, who and when she's in her strongest point, which is the upright position, she's kind of like that sheep where she's realized you don't have to be as hard and as tough as a wolf to defend yourself against a wolf. You just have to be so soft and so fluffy that they can't hurt you, basically. So the Queen of Cups has recognized a power in the soft, the feminine, and the compassion. But in the reverse, I'm thinking in regards to you, and whether this is you or the person you're dealing with, this energy I'm getting is someone where that philosophy has been very tested, and they're feeling, I'm seeing these tatters on her dress too. So I feel like she had this belief of what I just expressed, but she's been tested by this Knight of Wands, and she's been made to feel like actually more insecure by her feelings instead of secure in her feelings, she's feeling very insecure. And she's feeling so insecure that she's become very closed off. And she's felt like she's only just been damaged by her own feelings. So this is the energy I'm getting from this card. It's definitely a weakened state for this queen to feel insecure by having feelings. It's definitely the opposite of the energy of the Queen of Cups. So then we have the Knight of Wands. And it's looking like, you know, in the reverse, I'm getting the very traditional vibe from this card. And this is someone who is just unpredictable. They come in and out of other people's lives, and they don't stay for long. And with this card, I'm getting that this person is very dogmatic, and they really expect other people to fall in line and to be okay with their actions. So they want to be however they are, and they expect other people to just accept it, and if you don't, what's wrong with you? And so these people I think these people are also, these two energies together have been intensifying each other. So so it is kind of like a twin flame type of situation where once the energies get together, they those more negative traits, like whatever insecurity this person had, is intensified by this person's actions, and then her insecurities their insecurities will intensify this person's dogmatism, if that's even a word. Their nature of being, this is how things are from my perspective, so this is how they are, and their flightiness, their in and outness, is intensified too, as almost a response to the insecurities from this energy. I'm also noticing this little darkness here around her arm. If you can see it, it to me is I'm seeing it as the flames that are coming through from this card. These flames here, which to me are on the wings, like the dark wings of this knight, have sort of latched onto her arm, almost like I want to say kind of like a poison, kind of like something that, like if you get bit like by snake venom, and then it slowly starts building up your arm, and that's sort of what I'm getting from this, is the impact of this person has touched her, and it slowly is growing and it's almost as weakening this energy. It's definitely, or if not weakened, impacted. She's feeling the impact of the energy strongly. Okay, so that's what's been going on. You can decide if you're the Knight of Wands, or if you're this Queen of Cups, but I'm guessing that it's going to be those two energies that are being expressed here in this spread. So let's get down to our October reading. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. I just did the Pisces reading before you guys, and it went like an hour long, and my intention was 20 to 30 minutes, and I have a feeling that yours is going to go long too. It's this new deck I'm using, the Hermetic deck. It's a new deck. It has a lot to say, but something about it is just like bringing up so many messages for me that my readings are getting long. So I hope they're not too long, and I hope that they're helpful for sure. So getting into the spread for October for you guys. So we have the Devil here. This is coming through as your conscious energy. So this is the thing that you're aware of, and it looks like you are feeling So I'm sensing an energy of strong resistance to the idea of attachment. So I think you Aquarians are perceiving attachment in this very brutalist, dangerous kind of way. Seeing these figures here that are chained, the pentagram on top. This is what's coming through is how you are perceiving attachment. Okay. Now I think for you guys, what you want is to be like this bat up here, which is the bat comes out at night. They fly around, they flicker almost. I was camping recently, I was watching the bats right by these bat caves, and all the bats came out at night, and I was had my flashlight up at the sky, and I could just see all these little bats flickering through the sky. And I love bats so much, it was amazing. But the energy I'm picking up on with this bat is for you guys a desire to be kind of like that flickering sky, flickering through the sky. No one can really catch you for very long. You're all around, but you're covered in the darkness of night, and so no one can really get you or understand you or even get eyes on you for very long. So I think that's what you want to be, and why you want to be like that. I mean, I could guess. I'll look at the other cards. I'm not sure but from this card, what is just showing is what you want to be for yourself, but then also it's showing your fears here, your fears of attachment, and perceiving it as almost as like a painful thing. It's something you want to avoid for sure. It's bondage and chains, not the fun kind of bondage. And there is this one second. Okay, so I'm also picking up from this fire here a need you have to, when you feel a sense of attachment, you have an urge to actually burn it down, to burn down the landscape that would usually a landscape, if the landscape were like a garden, and this is like, you guys are gonna think this is silly, but if the landscape was like a garden where you were planting things for the future and co-creating, and I guess being a little gardener with someone else, and you guys were planting things and seeds, if that's like a metaphor for a relationship, your instinct is more to burn the garden down, and it seems like very fear-based. So, and then you want to be more like the bat. That's what I'm picking up from that card. So if that's not you, it's probably the other person that you're dealing with, and that's what the energy they're coming at you with, okay? So the devil with the lovers on the left side here. So we're having some very, very strong energies with you guys with this love connection, the twin flame. You have the lovers and the devil together. The lovers, and then the Princess of Cups in the reverse below it. Well, what I'm feeling is a more traditional. Ooh, 1 second. So this is, like I said, a new deck, and the symbology of it all is just kind of strikes me, and I end up getting a lot of messages, but I don't want this to be like a 10-hour long reading, so I'm gonna just okay. So yes, it's the Lover's card. It's generally a very beautiful card, especially in the upright. It's talking about a it's talking about literally love connection. It's talking about physical connection and intimacy and divine love, like love contracts people have made before they were even born are represented, and then them coming together in this material plane is represented by this card. But I'm being drawn to the imagery here, and the message that I'm getting is about, once again, we have the snake and the chain. And here we also have this little snake. This guy's foot actually becomes a snake. And we have the chains, of course. So, and this person has the chains. So, wow, there is a deep connection here that you have with someone, but it almost is like you feel so chained by it. Both people are feeling like it's almost like a battlefield. We have one person chained and another person who's trying to kill this snake. So they almost feel like it is an love, or having a connection. A love connection is like an evil they need to defeat. So that would mean that they're very fearful. Their vision of what connection is they're very afraid of it, and they see it more as a threat than as something that is a positive. So both of you have a very, I want to say, warped, in my opinion, perspective of what love is, what like a love connection is. Very tumultuous, very dangerous. It's full of creatures and entanglement, people trying to trap you, people trying to hurt you. So you're both people, and this would be the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands and the little Queen of Cups are both having some very stressed out views and perceptions of what a love connection is. So probably some damaged pasts with the two of you. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles. And surprisingly, it's in the upright. I think that for me, the message here is that the Four of Swords in the reverse below it. So I'm going to show both these cards because they are greatly connected. Okay. So what we're having here is an indication that you have been with this person a few times in this life, or a past life, even with the Lover's card being here. So but there's been a few, these pentacles to me are representing little cycles. You've had a few little cycles with this person, and they've been challenging. In this deck especially, the sevens are representative of challenges and when we're at our weakest points. So both of these all these cycles completed, but they weren't entirely complete because they're interconnected with this plant here. So they're kind of like representing tiny little endings, but not really. So if this resonates with you, if you've been in and out with this person, with different cycles with this person, then this message should be really resonating with you. And what sits below it is the Four of Swords, and it's in the reverse. I want to read this to you. Lord of rest from strife. Okay? So this is, and then this is Lord of success unfulfilled. Clearly, we are having an indication that these little cycles you've had with this person, they felt very unsuccessful. They were probably pretty painful, stressful. I'm getting like a sense of stress. This plant is, to me, it feels, well, it has thorns in it if you look closely. So I think what I'm getting now is, sorry, I don't think, I say think, but I mean, I am feeling, in this culture, we're taught to say think instead of feel, because it's more masculine culture. But, so what I'm feeling here is that it now, because there's been so many of these tiny little, you can call them cycles, you can call them points of challenge you've had with this person, so much failure with this person, that it feels like they're just offering thorns at this point. When they put out a hand, if they try to be nice to you, if they try to be sweet, and the Queen of Cups in the reverse, she might still try, even though she maybe is resistant to trying, she might still kind of have a very, I guess this is such an out of balance energy, they might still try to have this sudden urge to reach out and be nice, and then, but it's so unstable now. It's become so unstable with this sense of not really trusting the situation, that it is inconsistent, and you're picking up on that, but also just from all the failures of the past. When they do that, if they're still kind of sometimes trying to reach out, be nice, you see it as just they're just reaching out with thorns. Like if you take what they're giving you, you're just gonna get, your hand's just gonna get cut. And so you're really taking in October taking or if they're not reaching out at all to you, it's your perception is, if they even were nice to me, that's what it would be. It would just be a trick, or it would just really just be thorns. I would just be stabbing myself if I believed anything they said, or received any kindness they were so-called giving me. So it's also just really pointing towards a perception you have of the situation, and but also probably there's a bit of truth there, just because of their feeling the weight of the past as well. So I would try maybe not to have such hard expectations on them, like greater expectations of their behavior, that more than that you even have on your own. And with the Four of Swords in the reverse below, it feels like a lot of times taking a step back, a lot of times of ending things, and it doesn't matter who ended them. It's just that people needed to rest. Literally, Lord of Rest from Strife. I'm not making this up. This is literally the card at its most basic form. The Four of Swords is representing someone who is taking a break and who needs to rejuvenate. They need to reassess things. They need to take a step back. So that's what this card represents, and I'm not getting a different message from it now. Sometimes I will from a card, but I'm getting that very classic message here, that that's what's happened a few times. Ending these cycles, taking a step back. But now that it's in the reverse, well, this could mean that there's a real strong desire for the rest to not just be a quick rest, but to be, a forever sleep or a death, just to really end things for good with with it being in reverse, that's kind of what I'm picking up on there, that it's not really perceived as a break anymore. It's more perceived as okay, yeah, like I just kind of want this to be completely, I want to rest from this forever. So especially with both these hands there, both, to me, that means both people are feeling the same thing. So with both people feeling that, probably not much is really gonna be going on in October with both people seeing things that way. So here we have the Five of Swords, Lord of Defeat, and it comes below the Devil. This is also the placement of your subconscious, Aquarius. So this is the thing that you refuse to realize about yourself. It's in your subconscious. So with the Devil in your consciousness, it's about how you feel, how you see things. And I was talking about how you view intimacy and connection as being bondage and not the fun kind, and being trapped and being dangerous. So that's your conscious. But what we have here with the Five of Swords in the unconscious is definitely the reason why you see it this way. So you've experienced a lot of loss in your life. The Five of Swords is about, sorry, just give me a second. I'm getting distracted by this center here. It feels more like it's connected to that Knight of Wands, that blackness kind of coming from the wing. What I see is being the wings, and it's almost like they're connected. Okay, so the Five of Swords is definitely a challenging energy. It's this belief of, it's about winning over other people or defeating other people. Within the Five of Swords, everybody loses because the person who so-called won was actually, they kind of lose because they're operating from this place of fear and lack and needing to sort of assert dominance or have their own way over other people. And obviously it comes from insecurity as a coping mechanism. So if this is you, there's no judgment here. It's just Aquarians it's very air-based sign, and it's all about Aquarians can be all about boundaries with us, especially that's represented with the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords, which is your element. These are your people. You can be very oriented about your boundaries and what you expect from other people, and a lot of times it's expecting distance because the Aquarius is like known to be a very individual sign, and they want to just be on their own a lot of the time. So the Aquarius usually develops a lot of expectations of how they need other people to be in order to support their need for distance and their own selfhood. So for you, it looks like there's developed a coping mechanism that is when someone comes to you with any sort of desire to be close or any sort of like a need for intimacy, you kind of see it as a threat, and it's bringing back up those chains. And this is about like the deep down sense of what I'm getting is from here, this Princess of Cups in reverse. This is the other person once again, because they came through, or you did if you're more on this spectrum of things. if you're the person who's been more emotive and throughout this connection, then you're just coming through once again as the Princess of Cups here in the spread. But I'm also getting that it is sort of representing the Aquarian subconscious, your subconscious too, if you're the person who's a little more sharp and distancing behaviors. And for instance, if the Knight of Wands energy felt more like you at the beginning, so what we're seeing here for you is that you're coming through as your subconscious as being this little Princess of Cups who's actually very vulnerable and very emotional and a little bit erratic and inconsistent. And those are things that on a conscious level you disdain. You want order and you want things to make sense and you want to be consistent and you want to be unaffected, I guess, unaffected by the external. That makes you feel stronger. And so a coping mechanism to kind of hide this energy of this like strong emotional sort of being like going with the currents, falling with the currents, to kind of suppress that a little bit because it didn't feel strong. It didn't feel like you could live like that and still be okay. You develop this coping mechanism that we see here connected to this Knight of Wands. And it's all about winning, defeating others by being flighty, by being inconsistent in a different way, which is with your attention and your interest, and as opposed to your emotions. But you're still paradoxically being very much influenced by your feelings, but it's more in the way that you're so resistant to them that when they come up, you run off. It's a form of escapism, but the goal is to defeat the vulnerable, and that is the vulnerable within yourself, and it's the vulnerabilities of others too. So that's all I'll say about that. And like I said, so the flightiness and that desire to sort of and being run by your feelings, but in the sense of escaping them, so kind of running off. This Knight of Wands is always in and out, always running here, there. They're very inconsistent energy, and it's all you just, or the person you're dealing with, just trying to escape this like energy here, the soft and vulnerable energy of the Princess of Cups. So and that's being expressed with the Four of Swords here too, which is someone, I need to get out of this, rest. I need to rejuvenate from this. I need to escape this. This is definitely an escape card. But so that's that energy is very present here in October, and it's showing through in multiple cards here for you guys. So I am going to pull 2 cards from my other little tarot deck here just to get any further messages. I specifically would like to actually know more about the Lovers card and what kind of outcome you can expect with your person in October. I'd just like to know get a little bit of insight into that. So 2 cards, please. Okay. And Swords in the reverse. Okay. Page of Wands in the reverse. Very similar energy to the Knight of Wands in the reverse. Okay, so, all right. The Ten of Swords represents endings when it's, you know, in the upright position. It's not in the upright position, so I'm thinking that things feel very much over in October. I think that no one's making any movements towards each other. Both parties are in this resting, but kind of like maybe resting forever type of energy, but not kind of sure, but probably kind of feeling that way. And then this is just the result of that, with no one, kind of people feeling a little bit like there's nowhere to go from here. It's just been so much like negativity and it doesn't work. So both parties feeling like it's over, but it's in the reverse. So I think it's a false sense of an ending. I don't think it's actually is in all actuality an ending, but in October it probably feels like it, especially with the Page of Wands here in the reverse. That's, you know, upright. This is someone who is taking on that passionate flame, and I think that was the card that came out at the very beginning. Ooh, no, that was okay, never mind. Didn't that? Oh, that came out. Yeah, sorry. I was talking about that in your past energy. So it would be like taking that initial ignition and interest and passion and actually moving it forward into the physical plane, manifesting it and acting upon it. And in the reverse, of course, that's not happening. So there is a lot of passion, a part of you that's still very passionate, but it's definitely being suppressed because it's not being allowed to take action. So it's probably going to start like being like a pressure cooker, and it's going to be building and building. And so even though in October nothing might be happening, it looks like with this type of I'm really feeling this sense of heat building, and being suppressed. So at some point it'll probably it'll get a little too uncomfortable for even the Aquarius, and it'll push through, and there'll probably be some sort of change and it'll turn out that, you know, it wasn't really a forever rest. So but in October, for most of you, probably feels pretty dead situation. Maybe it's a good thing to really take a break. Okay, so I'm going to pull one more card for you guys, and I'm going to read it to you. It's from the Dreams of Gaia deck, and I'm just going to get one last message, maybe some advice for Aquarius, please. Okay. That's pretty interesting. You got the King of Fire. The King of Fire. So I think this is connected to that Ace of Wands. I'm just going to show it to you guys to remind you of the Ace of Wands energy here. See all that fire that we had at the beginning? And this king is full of fire. So I think this is some suppressed energy that's going to be building, like I was just saying. And at some point, the resistance to this needs to be kind of let go, because there's a lot of passion there, and suppressing it with all of these Wands card with the Page of Wands, the Knight of Wands, in the reverse, we have an inconsistent expression of this fire energy. If it's expressed at all, is just very out of place, like sudden, and then it's gone. And what we need is a burn that is consistent. You should be like forever stoking that flame. And so even, fire is masculine, but it's, everybody has masculine energy. So if you're feminine watching this, is still is for you, because you still have that fire energy within you. So I'm going to read this, and I think it's going to be offer some good advice. Okay. So the King of Fire is a charismatic leader. He is passionate, and his passion is something others find inspiring because it is focused, grounded, and creative. He is the perfect team leader. He can draw to him the people who are necessary for a project to be completed, and every single person will want to play a part to help bring his vision to life. Some may see the King of Fire as an ideas man, but they only have to observe, and they will soon discover that he is very proactive. He likes to be involved, to get his hands dirty, and he will remain involved from inception to completion. The King of Fire is also fearless, dauntless, in fact. He is lion-hearted and the vital heartbeat of his court. He is not afraid of hard work, but he also respects and moves through his day with the awareness that he is only a part of the whole. He is a necessary part, but still just a part, and one that can be replaced if his ventures fail. This is why the King of Fire works tirelessly to fulfill his role, and despite his gregarious ways and charismatic nature, is at the core a very unassuming and respectful man. It is why he calls upon and makes use of all those around him. He understands that he is but one man, and in order to rule well, he must be willing to delegate. In essence, he must be willing to share his power and his glory with others, which is the exact opposite of this Five of Swords card. The energy that I'm reading here for the King of Fire is the polar opposite of this card. So, and for the Four of Swords, actually, all of these cards, everything I've been expressing with this reading is the polar opposite of the energy of this King of Fire. So this is the energy that is kind of deep down. It's being repressed through, we experience traumas in our lives, and we begin to repress parts of ourselves. In this case, you have some really actually prominent positive aspects of yourself that have been repressed. And if this is more someone you've been dealing with, and you're more of the little Princess of Cups person here, then this is the exact person that you want to have, that is with that has the characteristics you want in a love partner. And you've been feeling, and you've been basically deprived of it, and you've gotten some other energies that are inconsistent and not like this at all. So when I'm reading this to you, you might feel very much like, wow, wouldn't that be so great to have someone like that in my life, because you've been deprived of this energy. So and for the person who is more of the Knight of Wands reversed energy, you have been depriving yourself of all of those characteristics that are within you. I'm not trying to be rude or anything. That's just what is coming through here, and I hope you take it with understanding that I'm just trying to help, and more in like a positive. You see it in more of a positive light of something that can be worked towards. Okay, so in essence, he must be willing to share his power and his glory with others. If the King of Fire appears in your reading, it symbolizes the wisdom of knowing that even those who are leaders are a part of a team. Every wise leader has people around them who perform tasks that help them to keep things running smoothly. The same wise leader respects their team and appreciates the efforts made on their behalf. He symbolizes the importance of being interested and involved from beginning to end. He asks us not to start something delicate and then walk away. So it's about bringing something to an actual completion, like a project. They're talking about as though it's a project, but within a love connection, it's an energy of someone who is going to be there and to finish something they started and not kind of just dip out part of the way through or after one night, like this energy here. So it's definitely a very different vibe, and it's one to start working on cultivating. So yeah, I hope this helped, Aquarius. I hope that you resonated with this reading, and I wish you guys the best. I'd love to see your comments in the section below. Also, if you did love this reading, go ahead, hit the like button, because this is a new channel that I've just created, and it really helps me to see that you enjoyed this reading. So yeah, I wish the best for you guys. I really do. I hope that this fire energy really comes through for you guys in October, and you're able to work on manifesting that more. So yeah, I wish the best for you guys. Okay, bye.